राम राम हरे हरे। श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री निताई गौरंग की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। So welcome everyone for the Sunday morning session on the journey of self-discovery, the book which Prabhupada has written. Rather, his compilation of many of his teachings in the form of lectures, conversations, or interactions with many prominent people across the world. So today we're going to begin with a new topic from that book. It is called Enchanter, Kṛṣṇa, the enchanter of the soul. Right? How Kṛṣṇa is enchanting all of the living entities in the whole creation. Rather, we are supposed to be enchanted by Kṛṣṇa, and we are getting enchanted with so many things in the world. So Prabhupada is going to dwell on this important aspect of where we are supposed to be attracted to. So all these sessions we are having by the inspiration of His Divine Grace, Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON, wherein he has given these teachings in a very, very simplified way and making us understand the aim in life, goal in life, because it is important to remind ourselves the purpose of life. Otherwise, left to itself, we'll be going on with the way it's going with regard to what people say, what we hear from the media or other communication channels, and we just come to some type of a understanding in our mind, and that way life is going on. But the intervention by Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas is important because we need to be reminded ourselves about our spiritual identity. Otherwise, left to ourselves, we are lost. It's like a child without proper direction or proper guidance from the parents will be spoiled. Right? So, offering our gratitude to Prabhupada, we'll begin our new topic. This is a lecture Prabhupada has given with regard to how the material world, the man and woman are attracted by sex life. Right? Prabhupada says, a man is attracted by a woman is attracted by a man, and when they're united in sex, their attachment for this material world increases more and more. But our business is not to be attracted by the glimmer of this material world. Our business is to be attracted by Kṛṣṇa. And when we become attracted by the beauty of Kṛṣṇa, we will lose our attraction for the false beauty of this material world. It's just a preamble to understand what we're going to discuss in today's discussion. In fact, we're going to have one more session on this same topic. So, Prabhupada is analyzing in detail with regard to what is this world all about? What's going on between us as male, female, and this arrangement of marriage? What is all about? What is it all about? And what is that we are going around in this material world with working, establishing big industries, enterprises, businesses. What is it all about? That is the point which Prabhupada is trying to explain. And with all these things, if we are forgetting our purpose in life, goal in life, then there's something serious which we need to again consider and come back to our path. Just like you're going going from one destination to other destination. En route, if you don't see any milestones or any indication that, yes, I had to say the other destination is 500 kilometers. If you don't see any indication that, okay, now you have covered 10 kilometers, further 50 kilometers, like this, you don't see any milestones, then you will be confused whether I'm going on the right path or not. Right? So, such interventions by Acharyas and Prabhupada is so important for us that we need to see whether our journey of life is going in the right direction. So Prabhupada begins by telling what is the nature of this material world? Material world means it is world of sex life. In this material world, everyone is attracted by sex. That is a fact. The bottom line of any interaction which a male and a female has in this material world is sex life. We ask any person who is working, we'll ask, why are you working for? Working for my family. And what is a family? Family means husband, wife, children. We were, before marriage, we didn't have any such connection, any such obligations. But after marriage, or when we come together as husband, wife, or nowadays it is living partners, then there comes a sense of responsibility. If at all people get this proper, if they have good sense. Otherwise, if you see in the animal society also, the male and female come together and they're not bothered what will happen later. So human society, if it is degraded like animal society with irresponsible way of life, that is something which is already we are seeing some indications of that. In the Western countries, it is very much prevalent, and in the modern India also, we are seeing such things. But this is not human life. Human life means a responsible life. Yes, there is a psychological need, requirement from a man's side and from a woman's side. A psychological need of attraction between opposite sex is there as part of our mind-body system. So that has to be properly channelized. That has to be properly utilized for our spiritual progress. That's the point, right? Let it to itself. It will simply create disturbance without any proper regulation. That's the point. So right now we can see, or rather our experience says that in the material world, everyone is attracted by sex. Sex means opposite sex. A man attracted to woman, woman attracted to man is a fact. As the Bhagavatam says, Yan maithunadi grihamedi sukham hi tucham. The happiness, the so-called happiness of household life begins from maithuna or sexual intercourse. This is we can say, the pinnacle of any relation in this material world. Any sort of a happiness, what you want to experience in the material world, pinnacle is experience of sex life. So we're discussing these aspects or these points in our discussion today, because what is a fact is a fact. No, there is a sort of some other happiness, what is that other happiness? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam very clearly says, the material world means the relation between opposite sexes. At least in human life, it is sort of a regulated arrangement. In animal life, it is unregulated. So that way we go on, and that is what it is. That is what is driving everyone. Prabhupada gets into more details. We'll understand. So Bhagavatam says, the scripture says that the happiness, the so-called happiness, again Prabhupada corrects, so-called happiness of household life begins from sexual intercourse. Generally, a man marries to satisfy sex desire. Then he begets children. Right? Then, when the children are grown up, the daughter marries a boy and the son marries a girl. The same purpose, sex. Then grandchildren. Everybody has experience of this, right? We married. I was alone. I got married. Girl was alone. She got married, and after that, what? Yeah, children. And children. This daughter. She'll again get married to one more boy. The boy, he will marry a girl, and he'll bring her to the home. Like this, there's something. So you may think, what is this? You're describing the same thing. What's going on? Yeah, there's something we have to little read between the lines and get a philosophical point from this. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explain to us. So what is going on actually? You got married, you had children, and again, children going forward are further made to go through the same experience. their marriage, they're getting children. So like this, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren is what material life is. In this way, material happiness expands as whatever happiness, what you're experiencing is in this world. It's called material happiness. It is expands as Shri Aishwarya Prajep Savaha. Very interesting. It's again, whatever Prabhupada speaks is all from the scriptures, scriptural references. It's from Bhagavatam again. So Shri means beauty, Aishwarya means wealth, Praja means children. So beauty, wealth, children. People think that they are successful if they have a beautiful wife. Shri, a good bank balance, Aishwarya, and Prajep Savaha. Oh, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, good sons. They have good sons, daughters, daughters-in-law, and like this. Oh, a nice family. Have a successful family life. Right? That is what they think that is success in their life. To have a good family, good bank balance, good wife, two children, grandchildren, family settled down, led a successful life. If one's family consists of beautiful women and riches and many children, one is supposed to be the most successful man. This is the sort of a yardstick right now, which generally people have, or is what it is being advocated, propagated in the media, in the movies, or spoken about, or in the TV serials, whatever it is. Successful life means a very good understanding husband and wife are there. They have children. They lead a very nice family. They have good bank balance. They can enjoy the way they can enjoy in their life. And the children grow up. They get into jobs. They marry, and this life goes on. This is called successful life, as per the modern day understanding. And for whatever reason, the son or daughter is not able to marry and continue the generation, then the father, mother are little panicking. Now they are worried. What is happening? Not proper, like this. Or even after the marriage of their son or daughters, there is some, marital problems with their children. Then again they are worried. So they all feel that the way I have led my family life, married life, similarly, my children should lead, and like that their grandchildren should lead, and that is success of life. And meanwhile, while living a family life, then you should have good bank balance, nice wealth, everything. And we are surrounded with people like this, good people, family. That's what happiness is. It's exactly what Arjuna was expressing in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Right? When the battle was about to begin, and when he requested Kṛṣṇa to place the chariot between the two armies, and Kṛṣṇa did that as a chariot driver, Arjuna saw on either side, they were not any enemy standing. They were his own family members. His father-like figures, his grandfather, his teacher, his brothers, brother-in-laws, father-in-laws, our own relatives, his son age, children, son age, people. His own sons were also there. Like this, Pandava's sons were there. Like this, he was saying, oh, my own people are there and I have to fight with them. Right? We are supposed to live a very happy family life together. It's like when there is a program or some family function, all family members are invited so that, it gives a sense of happiness, togetherness. Any marriage or any event in a family, everybody's invited, and it's like coming together is a joy for all of us, right? So this is how the material world is going on with regard to how what we think is happiness, so-called happiness, as Prabhupada says. Now Prabhupada brings in the spiritual perspective. Krishna's one more name is Madana Mohana. What is the meaning of this word or this name, Madana Mohana? You'll understand as we move forward in our discussions. So Prabhupada is challenging What is the success? People think, beautiful women around me. There are a lot of good, we have our progeny, children everywhere. And good wealth, good house, opulence, everything going very well. So is this success? The scripture says this success is simply an expansion of sexual intercourse. That's all. You see, a very basic and a very, you can say, bold analysis of what is this all about. My family, of so many family members, is just an expansion of sexual intercourse. That's all. I'd like to quote an anecdote here. An incident which happened in Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada, when he was visiting one very wealthy businessman's house in India, while he was traveling with all his Western disciples, Prabhupada sannyasi used to get invitations from many, Indian families, and of course, Indian families are very religious and wanted to serve the sadhus. That was the mood. So when Prabhupada went to one Indian gentleman's house, as he was invited, so that big man just trying to introduce, oh, this is my son, this is my daughter-in-law, this is their children, this is my daughter, this husband. Like this, he went on with all the family members, introducing everybody. Prabhupada, after hearing all these things, after interaction, when everybody had gone, he whispered slowly to one of his disciples adjacent next to him, this is the description of his sex life. Right? People take great honor by saying how, we have nice family, settle down, and because this has become this sort of a standard. If the parents are saying my son is married, and and then they expect in 1 year we need to have a children. For whatever reason, son, the newly wedded son doesn't get children, then they are very panicky. Oh, what's going on? Let us go to consult doctors. Let us do this. Let us do this. Sort of 100 advices comes from different family members, and even society also will see in a different direction, in a different way. That's how it is. That has become a standard in society. Oh, after marriage, children. Then children should grow up. Then that is normal way of life. Fine. There's nothing wrong in that. But thing is this what life all about? Is the question. So scriptural analysis is this so-called success which people think is what we have achieved, we have lived our life, is simply an expansion of sexual intercourse. That's all. Prabhupada gives scriptural examples now. We may polish it in different ways, but the same sex happiness is also there in the hawks. We may have the sex life within closed doors, in a nice bedroom. A good arrangement should have made. The same thing the animals are having openly in the nature. The Bhagavatam scriptures say the sense of happiness or the feeling of happiness which you get when you have with your partner and the animals experience openly is the same. The quality of happiness is the same. Right? So Prabhupada says the same sex happiness is also there in the hawks. The hawks eat the whole day, here and there, very stool, very stool. And after that, they have sex without any discrimination. See, very wonderful analysis of how in the material nature around us, there are so many examples to observe. Right? Especially this example of hog or a pig is given. Pig, its food is to search for the most obnoxious thing which we excrete and we reject. Mala, right? When we go to the washroom in the early morning, then we excrete and we don't even bother what has gone there. We just flush it out. And that becomes the food of one more animal called hog, which means the food habits of this animal called hog is very obnoxious. And secondly, scriptures also point out its habit is such that after it eats this stool, it becomes sexually agitated. And the male hog will have sex without discrimination, whether it is mother, sister, daughter, no discrimination. It's a very important study of nature. In fact, we keep hearing such news in the in the media, newspapers of late recently. It's coming every now and then that father raped the daughter, or like this. Many such news we keep hearing, which means human society is getting degraded to animal status. Is the point. So further, Prabhupada says, the hog does not discriminate whether he has sex with his mother, sister, or daughter. But just trying to satisfy my sex desire. That's all. So Shastra says, we are engaged in this material world only for sex. So this is the analysis which I have been doing from the beginning of our session. What is this material world all about? Family life, children, everything. Finally, it boils down to one basic thing: sex life. Right? My sex life is like this: husband, wife, children, and further family expansion. Right? So we think this is success in life. And Prabhupada is pointing out the same experience or the same happiness, even the most abominable animal, hog, also is having. So what is the difference between you and animal? Very nicely, scriptures say, Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These are the common necessities of both humans and animals. What is special about humans then? If you only busy in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, no difference. So Prabhupada very nicely says, in other words, we are victims of Cupid. Cupid means Kamadeva or Madana, Manmatha, it's different names. This Cupid, Kamadeva, is the god of sex, which means everybody in this material world, they are being inflicted, or rather they are attacked by the Kamadeva or Cupid. Unless one is induced by Madana, one cannot be engladdened in sex life. This is the function of Kamadeva. Kamadeva, what he does is, he shoots flower arrows and inciting the desire of enjoyment with opposite sex. Very interesting, right? Otherwise, if you see, in small kids, when you are born, we didn't have sex desire or desire to enjoy with opposite sex. This desire to enjoy with opposite sex was, slowly awakened at a particular age in our life, if you analyze. So, the scriptures say that as a human being, rather when we are born here in the material world, when we take body in the material world, we have the stored desires from our previous lives, only one life, many lifetimes, and the desire to enjoy the world in this way. And all this enjoyment, the basic thing is enjoyment with opposite sex. He said, Pumsa, Striya, Muthuni Bhavam etat. Man, woman coming together and enjoying sex life. This is the basic thing in any activity we are doing. Right? So, this desire, awakening of desire at a particular situation, particular time, is all induced by Kamadeva. You are normal, peaceful. Suddenly that desire awakened. Oh, I want to enjoy with opposite sex. How it has happened? Because there are devatas controlling our different organs, different senses. Right? The 33 crore devatas are controlling our body in different ways. Our eyes, ears, everything. So there is one devata called Kamadeva, who when he is when he wants, based on your situation, your past, everything, based on direction from higher authorities, he'll shoot an arrow of desire to enjoy with opposite sex. Then that becomes intense in you. You want to enjoy, you want to enjoy. That's why when we hear the cases of rape or other things, it's all because of it was going normal. How this person became so agitated with sex desire is the point. Right? So unless one is induced by madana, one cannot be engladdened in sex life. Right? And sometimes you see opposite partner may not be ready for sex life, but other person is too aggressive. That is what is known as rape. Right? Whereas both the partners agree, consensual, this word is used nowadays in the news also, in the media also, consensual sex. Then the court also doesn't have any objection for that. Right? And Prabhupada is now coming to the spiritual perspective. One of Krishna's names is Madana Mohana. Madana means Kamadeva, the Cupid god. Right? Mohana means one who is enchanting or attracting or defeating even Cupid. So Lord Krishna is a personality who defeats or vanquishes even Kamadeva, Cupid, Madana. So Madana Mohana, very nice word. Lord Krishna's one more name is Madana Mohana. You would have heard this word, Madana Mohana. Madana Mohana means one who can conquer Cupid also. Whereas in our case, we are all conquered by Cupid. Once Cupid attacks us, we cannot control ourselves. Right? Whereas with regard to Krishna, Krishna is never affected by Cupid, never affected by Madana. He is called Madana Mohana. In our case, we are Madana Dahana. Dahana means the desire to enjoy sex life is burning constantly. Constantly, in material world means we are only trying to enjoy in different ways. This sex life further expands as, name, fame, power, position, all these things. Sex life is the beginning, seed. From that, further, many things happen. So this is the point. So very interesting. Krishna's one more name is Madana Mohana, who conquers Cupid, or he is so attractive that even Cupid becomes subjugated by him. In other words, one who is attracted to Krishna will forget the pleasure derived from sex. Other way of telling. Right? So, Krishna is a personality who is not attracted by Cupid, or rather he is vanquishing Cupid. So, if we also become attracted to Krishna, we will forget sex life. Very interesting. Right now, we are absorbed in sex life, thinking that this is everything for me. Sex life means, as we understood, very nice family members around me, good bank balance, children, family. I guess is sex life. But when we get attracted to Krishna, all these other things which we are attracted right now, we'll forget it. This is a test of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Right? There's no need to give any separate test. Oh, you're such a nice devotee, so advanced. Take the certificate. No. When you're no more attracted to sex life, that is a test of advancement in Krishna consciousness. In bhakti, you're moving forward, or you've developed that sense of detachment from the material world. That is a test. Prabhupada further explains how sex life is a big entanglement for all of us. Another meaning of madana is to intoxicate or madden. It's a Sanskrit word, which means you become so, you pulled by, you're attracted by. Intoxication means you forget what you're doing. Totally, when for some, we have seen when people get intoxicated, they forget who they are. They're in a different domain altogether. So this attraction to opposite sex is like that. You don't bother anything else. You forget all your other, duties, other responsibilities, other, functions. So in this context, I would like to, give you a reference. of one Acharya, our Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He sings a very nice, song. It is basically, it is glorifying Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then, one second. So glorifying Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because Bhakti Vinod Thakur, one of our acharyas in our parampara, he has given a lot of literatures for us, especially he has written many kirtans, songs, right? So in one of the songs known as Godruma, in the Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidhum. Godruma is a place in Navadvip, West Bengal, wherein Bhaktivinoda Thakur was staying there, and then he used to do his bhajana. One of the songs, one stanza, it says, Ramani Jana Sanga Sukham Cha Sakhe Charame Bhayadam Purushartha Haram. He is summarizing what happens when you are attracted to opposite sex. Ultimately, the pleasure to be had in the company of beautiful young women. See, when you say woman, doesn't mean only having a womanly form. For a man, woman is a woman. For a woman, man is a woman. Right? Basically, woman means a pleasurable object for me. Right? The pleasure to be had in the company of opposite sex turns to be fearfulness, bhayadam. Then it distracts her from the goal of life. It's called maddened. Means your human life is supposed to be going in a particular direction with regard to the purpose of life. As I told you, you're starting from one destination to another destination, and you are supposed to go with a particular speed and reach the other destination. That's why the human life is meant for. But attraction to opposite sex, what happens is you get distracted, you get diverted. Bhayadam purushartha haram. You are filled with fearfulness, and it distracts you from the goal of human life. So this Acharya says, Harinama Sudha Rasa Matta Matir. So let your mind be intoxicated by the nectarian mellows of the holy name. So again, the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Instead of becoming intoxicated or maddened by attraction to opposite sex, if you become attracted to Kṛṣṇa, then the goal of life will not be forgotten. You will reach your destination and there is no fear. That's why Kṛṣṇa is called Abhaya. His lotus feet is called Abhaya Charana. Prabhupada's name is Abhaya Charana. Abhaya Charana Aravinda. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Whereas anything, if you don't hold on to Kṛṣṇa and his pure devotees, then always you are fearful. Bhayadam Purushartha Haram, very important. So this is called maddened. People are mostly maddened by this attraction to opposite sex. So you may complain, oh Prabhuji, then you should not even get married. No, not like that. Let us, we'll explain all those as we move forward. Basically, the type of the intoxication will carry when you are attracted to opposite sex. There are so many movies, so many serials which is made to just it's like so many movies and so many serials, so many things, novels are written, just attraction between opposite sexes. Romeo, Juliet stories, right? So when the children are going from school to college, they all begin this romantic mood and romantic background, and it's how the whole world is running around like that. And every year they celebrate Valentine's Day. Like this, it's all celebrated actually, in one sense. But what is the real nature of it is what Bhagavatam is explaining it. Yes, everything is good until there is some regulation. Unregulated will not lead us to anywhere. That's why one of the regulations we have in the practice of bhakti is no illicit sex. No illicit sex means no sex outside marriage. Within marriage, for begetting children and making them devotees, very good. Krishna also says that dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. That sex life which is not against the religious principles is adharma. Whereas that sex life within religious principles, marriage for begetting nice children, I am that, Krishna says. Kamosmi. This is the point. So here, the sex life, the nature of attraction to opposite sex is that you go mad. You are maddened. Everyone is maddened with the force of sex desire. You don't bother about other considerations, right? Family, responsibility, doesn't matter. Just pulled by, you're attracted by the opposite sex. Bhagavatam further says, Pumsa striya muthuni bhavametad tayor mrito rudya granti mahu. The whole material world is going on because of the attraction between male and female. Right? Why this material world is going on? Because attraction to opposite sex. A man is attracted by a woman is attracted by a man, and when they're united in sex, their attachment for this material world increases more and more. This is sort of a strong bonding which happens when a man and woman comes together. That's what it's telling us. And their attachment to the material world increases more and more. After this attachment, what happens? After marriage, the man and woman seek a nice home and a job or some land for farming because they have to earn money to get food and the other things. Before marriage, no problem, wherever, whatever situation it is, okay. But after marriage, then a house is required, griha. Then we have to work because we have to earn money to maintain ourselves, kshetra, that's called job. Or like in the Vedic times, this farming is required. Right? Then earn money and maintain yourself. And after this, then children are there, then friends, relatives, then everything to maintain all these things. Wealth is required. Just see what is going on. And they all began with attraction between opposite sex. That's the point. So everything, it expanded itself as family, children, society, money. Like this, things have expanded. So Prabhupada further says, in this way, the attraction for the material world becomes tighter and tighter. Right? Tighter and tighter means like, it's like, when you have experience, when the threads become entangled, what happens? First of all, it looked like, it is very, very soon I can disentangle them. But you go on trying to further disentangle them, it becomes more entangled. It becomes more tighter and tighter. Like that, it begins as the simple attraction. He's a good boy, he's a good girl, she's a good girl, come together. That becomes slowly that, attraction between two, boy and girl becomes so deep within the heart. It becomes, Bhagavatam says, Hridaya Granthi. In the heart, it becomes a knot. And more, after some time, you want to come out of this attachment, entanglement. It's become so tight that you cannot forget, you cannot leave it. That's the point. Right? In this way, the attraction for the material world becomes tighter and tighter. And it all begins with our attraction for madana, the pleasure for sex. So Prabhupada's, advice towards what we should do in human form of life, how we should be attracted to the beauty of Krishna. But our business is not to be attracted by the glimmer of this material world. Our business is to be attracted by Krishna. So, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam doesn't say you should not have family life. Yes, you can have family life. But not that family life is everything and nothing else to do. I'll take care of my family, earn a lot of money, enjoy my life. That's it. No. That is called a grihamedhi life. Irresponsible householder. A grihastha means a householder, responsible householder. He maintains the family and he also sees that all the family members are having attraction towards Krishna. Krishna is the center in the family. In a grihamedhi or a irresponsible householder, family is the center. Oh, my son is the center. My daughter is the center. My children are the center. My wife is the center. Like this, you make different centers. It will not give you any progress in your life. That is not our business. Prabhupada says our business is to be attracted to Krishna. Why and how? Prabhupada explains. When we become attracted by the beauty of Krishna, we lose our attraction for the false beauty of this material world. Right? When we become attracted to Krishna, what happens? This so-called other things which we are all getting so enchanted, it becomes, we disentangle from that. So very nicely, Prabhupada quotes one quotation from one Acharya, Yamanacharya. He says, Yadavadhi mama chetah Krishna padaravinde nava nava rasadham nirudyatum prantumasit tadavadhi vatanari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukhavikara shushtu nishtivanam cha. Since I have been attracted by the beauty of Krishna and have begun to serve his lotus feet, I am getting newer and newer pleasure. And as soon as I think of sexual intercourse, my mouth immediately turns aside and I spit. Just see. This Yamunacharya, Acharya, he became Acharya. Before that, he was a king. And he was quite licentious. It's like people in a very big position, king or politicians. They have everything at their disposal. He was quite licentious. He was indulging in sexual activity with many women. But once he has renounced everything and become attracted to the beauty of Krishna and began serving Krishna, he's telling, I'm experiencing a much higher pleasure. The happiness which I'm experiencing is way beyond the insignificant happiness. And as soon as I think of this sex desire within my mind, within my heart, I feel very disgusted. Right? So even in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says that Yan Maithunadi Grihamedi Sukham hi Tucham. The sense of happiness which one experiences with the with sexual activity, Prahlad Maharaj says it is insignificant. It is very abominable, tuchha. But we take it as topmost pleasure, topmost happiness, and the whole world is running behind that. Right? That is the whole illusion which all of us are living in. Right? So this is a wonderful realization of an Acharya, telling how the very pleasure which everybody is running after, I have become disinterested from that, and I have turned my face away from that, and I am turning my face towards Krishna, because that is what the spirit soul is supposed to be doing. So Krishna is Madana Mohana, the conqueror of Madana or Cupid. Madana is attracting everyone, but when one is attracted by Krishna, Madana is defeated. Right? Madana is conquering everybody. Cupid, right? Kamadeva. Whereas when you become attracted to Krishna, because Krishna is Madana Mohana, no Cupid can conquer him. In fact, in one of the prayers by Brahma says that Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shubham. The beauty of Krishna is so charming and so wonderful, so beautiful, that it is surpassing the beauty of millions of Cupids. Not one Cupid. Cupid is supposed to be very beautiful personality. And even millions of Cupids' beauty cannot compare to Krishna's beauty. Krishna is so beautiful. Supremely beautiful. And in front of Krishna, this Cupid has no action. He cannot do anything. So you become attracted to Krishna. Any other attraction to this so-called Cupid or the other personalities is of no use. Means it becomes tasteless for us. So as soon as Madana is defeated, we conquer this material world. Otherwise, it is very difficult. That's why it is recommended by Krishna again and again in the Bhagavad Gita. You think of me, you worship me, you remember me, you offer your respects to me, offer namaskar to me. So why this worship of Krishna or remembrance of Krishna is stressed in whole Bhagavad Gita is because our mind absorbed in other aspects, family, society, country, is all different, we can say different facets of sex life. Right? So all that should be forgotten in one sense. And only our mind should be absorbed in Krishna. So Krishna is again and again stressing in Bhagavad Gita. You become attached to me. You become devoted to me. 24 hours, you just remember me. All this, why is saying? Because little attraction to opposite, the material world will further degrade us. Will force us to take repeated birth in this material world again and again. So, what if you surrender to Krishna? What will happen to my family, my profession, other things? What will happen if you become attracted to Krishna? So Krishna is promising that I will save you. Very nicely Prabhupada explains that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Daivi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam evaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This material world is very difficult to overcome, but if one surrenders unto Krishna and catches his lotus feet very strongly, Krishna save me. Right? Material world is not easy to overcome. Right? This material world means we are all bound by different laws and conditions, and we are prisoners here. Biggest prison shackle is what? Attraction to opposite sex. Not easy. From that comes, attraction to, children, attraction to family, attraction to society, and for that you have to work, property, money, business, so many things. You get entangled like this. Not easy to overcome, right? But if one surrenders to Krishna and he tightly holds his lotus feet, Krishna, please save me. Prabhupada says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. My dear Arjuna, you can declare to the world that I will protect my devotee who has no other desire but to serve me. This is the level of advancement we should come to. That I don't have any other desire other than serving you, Krishna. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Unfortunately, people do not know that our only business is to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. This is the present situation. People are all ignorant, totally oblivious of this aspect. They're forgotten basically. They're doing so many other things other than taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. They don't know they're risking their own life. Next life, what life they're going to get, we don't know. Like this, we have led many lives in the previous lifetimes. So big risk we are taking if we don't take shelter of Krishna. This is exactly the message of Bhagavad Gita. We have no other business. Any other business we may do simply entangles us in this material world. This may look a very exaggerated statement, right? Prabhupada says we have no other business, and the only business is to engage ourselves in service of Krishna, because anything else you do will further entangle us. More and more entanglement it is. But as the Bhagavatam says, Nate vidus swartha gatim hi Vishnum. People do not know that their ultimate goal is in life is to realize Vishnu or Krishna. People don't know. Because of which they think something else is the goal of my life. Enjoying my senses is the goal of my life. Earning a lot of money is the goal of my life. Enjoying with opposite sex is the goal of my life. Like this, if they go on like this, there's no end. Right? We will continue these discussions further in our next session and conclude this topic. Okay. So I will open the forum for any questions, any discussions on this topic, whatever we discussed today. So basically, you're doing analysis of the material world with our in context of our life in the material world, what it is, how we can get a solution from this entanglement in the material world. Fine. If there are no questions, we will close here. We'll continue our discussions in the next session again. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.